Okay, we got this beautiful cafe racer up on the lift right now. We're going to take this timing cover off and ship it down to AMR in Tucson to have them modify it. Right now, we're kind of curious whether or not, if we take this cover off, will we have enough room to pull this timing cover off without removing the pipe? So we're going to try that just for the heck of it. I mean, taking the pipes off, no big deal, but it'd be kind of cool if we can get all this off without moving the pipe. Just for the heck of it, this is a beautiful bike, 850 Norton. Got a Mikuni on it. Oh my goodness, people do hate those Mikunis. Let me tell you a story about the Mikunis, all right? Back in the 80s, 90s, when these bikes were getting to be 10, 15, 20 years old, and the Amels, which at that time were made out of cheese and just about as hard, and had the slides rattling around inside like a BB in a rain barrel. The single Mikuni was invented as a solution to the worn out Amels, and it was a great solution. My bike runs like a striped ass, excuse me, like a really fast ape. They're smooth, they're dependable, they're easy to start. It is a wonderful conversion, but not today. If a bike were to come into my shop, and they do, with the original Amels on it, which they have, and those Amels are worn out beyond the point where I can bring them into adjustment, I suggest a new set of Premiers. The new Amel Premiers are wonderful. They're made out of a much different material, much harder aluminum. The slides are coated with something really slippery, and they've got the removable pilot jet. I mean, they're a wonderful carburetor, and if a bike comes in here with worn out Amels, that's what I suggest. So, yea, verily, all the folks who hate the Japanese carb on the British motorcycle. Okay, I've heard you. I hear you. I will hear you again. I will hear you ad nauseum. But believe me, a single Mikuni on a Norton is a wonderful thing. And if you're worried about resale value, it doesn't hurt it at all. Matter of fact, depends on how the guy buying it swings, it could be an advantage. So, anyway, I have editorialized enough there, and we're going to take that timing cover off now. Kevin's over there with a 6-foot cheater bar, undoing the adjusting screws right now, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, we get bikes in here all the time with screwdriver damage from being, had pounding screwdrivers in here to break them free. These do tend to stick, okay? And they're difficult to get off. So what we do, we take a blade from a box cutter. Show them the blade. Yeah, this guy. And we go in here and we go in here to break it free. Just don't cut your fingers.
Yeah, that's why I got gloves.
Because all we're trying to do is break the seal, okay? Both sides until it breaks free, and then maybe hit down to the bottom if it doesn't want to break free. But at this point in time, you can actually use something to pry it off without damaging it. You can hear that hollow sound. That means it's actually starting to release. Okay. Anyway, that's better than a screwdriver or a chisel. All right, we got the nuts off the oil pump. Actually, we did have to break it free, but it's coming off now. Okay. So now we're going to clean all this out, let it drain, and probably put it aside because there's not a lot more that we're planning on doing to this particular bike. Clean all that out. We never put oil back in a bike, by the way. Once it's drained out, it goes into recycle. And we always start with fresh oil. Well, it's 2211. And I've got this timing cover all cleaned up. Took the seals out. They get replaced anyway. This is the old seal off the oil pump. So everything's here. I'll take these two and ship them to Mike down at AMR down in Tucson for him to do the modification. In the meantime, while I've been over here having fun cleaning this stuff, Kevin's been over here doing the dirty work, taking all that gasket material off. So it never stops. I swear. Oh, dirty, dirty, dirty. Okay, so that's where we are right now. I think it's time for coffee, Kevin.
Okay, I'll watch you. I've already had enough coffee.
Have you?
I'm going to be peeing all morning. Yeah,
Okay, this is semi-funny. We've got this timing cover off. We're draining the motor oil out of it right now. Just going to let it sit there. And I've got it over here all ready to go to AMR. I'll pack it up and send it. And Kevin and I were saying, well, what should we do next? I mean, look at all these bikes. Which one should we work on next? And actually went and had a cup of coffee, sitting at a cup of coffee. I had drinking coffee, having a coffee and a biscotti. And I said, you know what? My goodness. This is the bike we bought the Alton starter for. So we're going to leave it right here. We're going to take this pipe off. We're going to open the primary. And we're going to install the Alton electric starter. Yep. So that's what we're going to do. All right, we're starting the process, and Kevin is pulling plates out of the clutch. Stuff over here, parts over there, parts is parts.
all right.
You already in there? Okay. Well, we're going to pull that basket, pull the stator next. Okay, we got the front sprocket pulled loose and the clutch basket pulled loose. We can actually lift those off right now. But I want to show you over here, this is a highly modified puller that I extended out, and this is for pulling recalcitrant alternator rotors. If they're stuck, this will pull them out. This guy is used for pulling out the front sprocket. And I don't know if and all of these different bolts are used with this guy for different reasons. And so we just use this combination for pulling the front sprocket. This guy is incredibly modified. I had a welder beef it up about twice as thick as it was when I bought it. And it just had a hole in it. I made it a groove on both sides, so it's adjustable. And I have used every one of these for various and sundry jobs on various and sundry motorcycles. So these are worth their weight in gold. This guy was modified at least twice, and this guy probably as many, if not more times. I actually ran into one bolt that was so tight that I bent the original version of this before I had it beefed up. So anyway, special tools are really, really handy to have. And always remember, necessity is a mother. Go. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Go ahead. All right. Okay. That comes off as a combo. And now we have what's known as an empty primary case. Yep, that's the one that goes over this little, which we have to take off. We have to get this little guy off of there, and it's a pain in the butt. See it down there? Mm-hmm. It's a split ring, and we have to get it off of there. That's next. Yeah, see it? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so much fun to get off.
Yeah, I remember him.
Okay, we got the little snap ring off. That was the last thing that's holding it, other than the 3 bolts that are holding it to the engine. So we're going to take those off now. And we actually used a snap ring plier and a couple of jeweler's screwdrivers to get underneath this guy to get it off of there. It was trial and error, even though I've done it several times. It's always a learning experience. All right, so look at that oil coming out of the sump. That means that sump is full. full of oil. And that's what the AMR mod stops from happening. This bike has been sitting for a long time, and all the oil from the tank has leaked down into the engine. And here it comes pouring out of these holes. Isn't that something? Good news, we're not going to use those again.
Oh, okay.
Nope, the new kit gives us one. You should be able to lift that away from the motor at this point.
Good.
You know, once you wipe that oil up so with your finger or a rag, whatever, and because it's going to go everywhere. Okay. All right.
Still pouring
Oh,
out of
heck.
there.
Pull it off anyway.
Yeah.
We'll let it drip directly out of the engine.
Yeah.
That was a good idea that didn't work.
We have a lot of those.
Yeah, we do, don't we? And there comes the primary case off. All right. Okay. Let's bring it over and put it on that towel. Right behind you, yeah. Why not? That's as good a place as any. All right, good. We're going to do some cleanup over here, and we are in position to actually put the new primary case back on the bike. This one right down here with the motor in it. Isn't that neat? All right, just a quick end of day video on the Triumph. We're letting it sit overnight, let the gasket sealer set up. When I get it back on the lift, the first thing I'll do is start it and spray some carb cleaner around the manifolds to see if they're sucking air. And we'll go from there, see if it runs any better the way it is. And we'll go from there. In the meantime, this bike is sitting here with the timing cover shipped to Tucson already, and with the left side of the engine ripped off, pending putting this electric starter on it, which is what we will do tomorrow. So end of day, it's 2:45, and I'm going to go do paperwork and process this video.